Hi, this is Jacob with PCTechGuide.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at JV16 Power Tools. Now, I've personally been using JV16 Power Tools for about 5 years now. It's one of the better registry cleaner clients out there, if not the best registry cleaner out there. The one issue I had before with always recommending it to others is it used to be extremely dangerous because it's extremely powerful software. And in the latest version, the 2012 version here that we're reviewing today, they have the option of actually making it far more technical if you want. So if you are a power user and you know what you're doing, there's a lot more features that you can dive into and really get your hands dirty and really get into your computer and easily work on it. For the not so technical user, somebody who just wants to click a few buttons and be good, you can do that too. Just leave it at the default settings. So when you install it, leave it at the default settings and you'll be good to go. And this is the main interface that you'll see here. And when I installed it, I actually did install it with the malware scanner option, which is pretty cool. A few registry cleaners coming out this year have included malware scanners, PC Health Advisor being one of them. And it's nice that they include it. Now, it's not anything that you can necessarily trust as far as, oh, it's going to catch all the viruses. No, it won't, but it's nice that they did include it. And one of the first things you're going to want to do when you get started is go ahead and hit the clean and fix my computer, and you're going to see right here in the bottom left it already shows the score of my computer because it does a quick scan initially. And this is where you'll want to just leave it at the default settings. If you were to go down more, this is really more for advanced technicians and people who are actually diagnosing system problems. For the average end user, just leave it alone. Same with really the additional options and the like. I would leave it at the default setting and just hit the start button. It's going to take a few minutes for it to scan. Once the scan is done, you're going to see a listing of the errors, and you can actually dive down into the errors if you want to look at it. So you can view your registry errors and see which ones are invalid and whatnot and why they're there. Now, for the most part, because we left it at the general setting, all you really have to do is just hit the check button, and you'll be good. Same with the registry junk file. That's going to be invalid shortcuts. This is some of your history, so it could be history from, let's say, in a previously opened Excel document. Junk temp files, mostly that has to do with Internet Explorer and your browsing the web and things along those lines. So you can leave that checked. The startup menus. Now this one may have, if you have empty folders on your computer. So here it shows, oh, I have 135 empty folders. Well, I may or may not want those empty folders there. They may be set up for purposing at a later date. So actually, I'm going to keep those. So I'm going to uncheck. I'm going to check everything there, and then I'm just going to uncheck this box. And then your log files, which yes, you will want to fix them all and just remove the log files, which are basically from system errors. There might be log files that are there. Now, if you're a technician, obviously you want it because you want to look at those log files to see what's wrong with the computer. But for the general end user, just go ahead and have that checked. Just going to hit fixed. And this is something that I really like here. So you're about to fix a lot of erroneous registry data at this time. It's always recommended if you browse through the list results before you do anything. Now, most people, when you browse through it, it's not going to make any sense to you anyways, to be honest with you. So because we left it at the general setting and we didn't click it onto advanced, really you can look through it if you want, but will it really mean anything to you? No, it's not going to. So at that point in time, just hit yes. And this is something that you'll be automatically prompted to do a backup, which is very, very nice. Now, it lists a lot of info in here. I wish they'd just do the date or something along those lines. So all I'm going to do is 5/19/2012. That's today's date. I'm going to hit OK. And I just name my backups the actual date. And we'll let this clean real quick. Now, compared to other registry cleaners, JV16 Power Tools does an excellent job. I put it right up there with Registry Booster, which is from Uniblue, PC Tools, System Mechanic, and Registry Mechanic. That's PC Tools 1. And those ones work excellent, and JV16 Power Tools works just as well when it comes to registry cleaning. I really like it. It's one of my favorite out there. It's not the easiest interface to use. The easiest interface of all, I really think, is PC Health Advisor, which does a really good job. And it is one of our top recommended products just for cleaning the registry and managing startup items. Alright, now that that's done, you're not going to get a dialog box that pops up. All it will do is it'll tell you right down here what's been done. So it'll tell you what was fixed, what was removed, what was possibly repaired. We're going to go ahead and close that down now. I'm back at the main interface. Next thing we're going to take a look at that you really want to look at is the speed up my computer, which is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to disable the NTFS access stamp. Going to go ahead and apply. Like I said, leave it at the default settings, and really you'll be good to go. Now there are other things that we can do, and this is more for advanced users. Disabling the auto run of the CD-ROM. So basically, when I insert that CD-ROM, it turns it off. So if you've ever inserted a camera or connected your phone, you had a dialog box that pops up saying, "Hey, do you want to view this folder?" That's what that's doing. And these are a little bit more advanced, not too advanced, but at the same time, it's something I really don't like. So I'm going to go ahead and apply those. And we're going to right here look at control which programs automatically start. Now this is where you're going to get the largest boost. Doesn't matter if your registry was corrupt before. If you had a slow computer, it's going to be a slow computer even with the registry fixed. Generally it's because you have too many auto starting programs, and the startup manager is really nice to use. Unfortunately, all startup managers really it's hard for a lot of end users to determine, hey, do I want this program starting or do I not want this program starting? So now, rule of thumb on this is, unless you know what the program is, let it go and let it run. So don't disable it. Now I'm going to go to some that might be running. So these say yes, which means they're running, and these ones say no, which means they're not. So I stopped, for instance, Neuro Home from auto going on me, Divx Update, iTunes Helper, Google Installer, DFAB, Malwarebytes. A lot of clients software that, hey, I use it every once in a while, but I don't want it auto-loading when my computer auto-loads or when my computer boots up. Basically, I disabled around 30 programs from auto-starting on my computer, and I got a tremendous boost off of disabling those. So here are some that are currently on here. So I have the Apple Push. Unless you know what that's doing, I just leave it on unless you know, hey, I don't want that program. So you might see something like Skype or something along those lines and say, hey, I don't know what this is, so I want to stop it. Might actually help too if I make this a little bit wider. So I see something here, and I do a lot of virus removal guides. So I'll tell you right now, these are viruses that are auto-starting on me. Now, I believe I already disabled them and removed them, but those are things I definitely don't want there. And there's no description in there, which there should be, and these are actually viruses. So I'm going to stop them. Here's the Google update. No, I don't want the Google update on there. My tray control I do. Only wire, I don't want that anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and hit disable. You don't want to delete them because they're gone for good from the start up until you update the software, reinstall the software. So it's better just to say disable. And you will have to restart your computer for those changes to be in effect. So for that software to stop running, you would have to restart your computer. Now, things like I was mentioning before, Skype. If you don't use Skype a whole lot, disabling it here is fantastic. That way it doesn't auto-load when your computer loads up. Same with any instant messenger software or something like Kodak EasyShare. Takes up an enormous amount of memory for it just loading up in the background, and it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't take that much. So if it's not something that you use each and every day all the time, I really would stop it from auto-starting. It's going to still be on your computer, and the JV16 Power Tools interface is probably one of the easier to use when it comes to the startup manager. There isn't any best program out there that I've found that, oh, it's really simple. No, it's more a matter of going through each and every line, looking at what program you want and what program you don't want. Now another feature they have is fully remove software and leftovers. I just recommend using the default Windows add and remove programs, the uninstall programs there, and just remove it normally. Unless you have issues where you cannot remove the software, then you can go ahead and use this feature. That it's there. It's a little bit more advanced, a little bit more in tune to actually be able to remove it for you. Now, just briefly, we're going to cover some of the other tools. I covered the main ones for you. You have your backups. The backups are going to be if you created any backups at all. So I have my recent backup that I did called 519 on the system. And you can, under the registry controls, you can do the registry manager to to automatically go in and edit the registry manually. Not recommended by anybody. Same with the find and replace. Here's the registry cleaner. That's a standalone registry cleaner. It's the same as using the Clean and Fix My PC, except for Clean and Fix My PC also removes some of the junk file tools in there. So registry compactor to compact the registry, not really needed in today's world, but it's in there to have. You know, a lot of these that you'll go through, and I'd recommend you just go through and look at them. Hey, a merge file thing, that's pretty cool. Split files, that's pretty cool too. Wipe files to completely remove them from your system. And as you hover over it, basically it gives you a better interpretation of exactly what it is and what the tool does. It's some fine tools just to help you really tweak your system. Same with the system tools. There's a software uninstaller. We saw that up on the front page. The system optimizer, service manager, startup manager. The main tools you're going to be using already that I talked about was the startup manager, and again that's on the home button. And basically that's it. You're going to have a few other tweaks that you can go ahead and do as well if you're an advanced user. Close that down. I'm going to go under Tools real quick. You can go ahead and there's a lot of stuff you can do through the menu, as well as viewing the fonts. I mean, how many programs let you actually change the fonts? You got your installation folders. You have the backups there again, network features, and this I did this on a Windows 7 64-bit computer. It works really well on Vista as well, and XP, the exact same as a matter of fact. I imagine when Windows 8 comes out, it's going to work just fine there too as well. And you know, if you're purchasing this for something to clean the registry, JV16 Power Tools is extremely powerful and should work to resolve any of those issues that you have there. I highly recommend, unless you're a very technical person or a computer repair technician, just to use the default settings, because this is extremely powerful software, and you can do a whole lot of damage if you don't know what you're doing, so just leave it at the default settings. And that's it. Overall, I give JV16 Power Tools 2 thumbs up. It's a great product. They got lifetime licenses available too for people out there. I know I myself have 3 or 4 lifetime licenses of the software just because I have so many computers. It's a program I really enjoy using, and one that I'll probably be using for years to come. That's it. I hope it helps, and take care.